Hello guys. Hello guys. Hello, hello, hello. Wait a second. Where did it jump? I think it's all good, right? Yeah, I think it's all good. Wait a second. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yes. Boomer here. 1 second. Let me fix something here. I think I am missing a little window here. Yeah, there we go. Hello guys, why back? Because I realized Kasparov plays Carlsen, guys. I didn't realize Kasparov was playing Carlsen, second round. Then they told me. I was like, oh my god, I'm gonna watch that. I'm totally gonna watch that. And only then will I go to chill. Let's see when they start. I'll get a tea meanwhile. I'll get a tea. Low sound? I know. Please don't cry. Get yourself some good headphones. I'll get myself tea. I'll be back. I'll try to plug this USB right into the laptop. Maybe it'll be better. Yeah, maybe it's better now. I don't know. Is it better now? Oh, I should. I maximize the gain. Call Sagar. Sagar is sleeping. I think everybody's sleeping. Crank up the volume. Hello. What's your favorite opening? I don't care because Kasparov is playing Carlsen. Let's see. What is their favorite opening? D4, D5, E3. This is a very normal position. Oh my god, look at it. Knights and rooks are placed as usual. This bishop is as usual. Only the king and the bishop are inversed. That's a very nice position, guys. I really like it. It's very nice. It's super similar to ordinary chess. E4 is asking to be played, to be honest. Opening this bishop, this knight, like in the... Sorry, this knight to f3, like in the classical orthodox chess. The boys went d4, also very natural. It's a bit timid, isn't it? Then e6. Okay, Garry wants to be solid. He'll play c4 and knight c3. I don't like so much this d4. Yeah, I don't like this. At the same time, wait a second. Where is black king castling and how? Why don't I like this actually? White will play c4, then knight c3, then queen c2 and long castle. Maybe. How will black solve his king? How will he do that? He needs to get the bishop out, this bishop out, the queen out, and then the king. So black, I think, will try to go maybe black will try to go c5. Knight c6, queen c7, that feels very harmonious if he's in time, and then maybe castle long, bring the rook here, or maybe try to go bishop 7. Yeah, I don't know. It's a bit slow. Hello. Welcome back, Vishal. My mods are back in the house. Almost like normal chess. Yeah. Almost like normal chess. You guys, this is a very interesting game. It's very, very interesting because it's similar to normal chess but different. That makes it more interesting to me than an entirely new position because there is so many similarities but so many differences. I think this knight c3 and this queen c2 idea and the long castle, it's so attractive here. The bishop already developed and castle long goes faster than usual. I like that. Guys, who do we think will win? We think Kasparov will win? Who knows, you know? Normally he's not a favorite, but I think the opening is in his favor. Let's see what the comp is saying. Comp gives white very modest advantage, but I think practically it's much bigger. I think white has a much better position here, I feel. Because I think it's so important here that white is the one to move and that he gets to castle first. Who do you think we will win? Somebody's asking. Ashwin is asking. Yeah. It's a good question. Magnus, Garry, Kasparov, Carlsen. Please show the evaluation bar. Guys, what is there to show? Nothing. It's equal. A6, yeah, no, that's... It's a standard way of playing in a normal position where the king is here and the bishop is here. But can you afford that when your king is so unsafe? I don't buy this move, guys. I don't buy this. So what if I fall for it? Okay, take, and b5. I'll play bishop d3. And what? bc5? Let's say I take. Let's say you take. I play queen c2 already. Create a pin. After queen c7, I castle long. You develop your knight. Bring the king to b1. Wait, you develop your knight to c6 maybe. 30 knight before. Let's see what this position is. I don't know. Let's see what computer is saying about this. Yeah, computer likes this move queen c2 first. Oh, queen c2 is much better. Much better not to let the knight be hit by the b pawn. Oh, c5 here immediately. Yeah, anyway. Garry went knight c3. Garry did go knight c3. And Magnus took and went c5. Well played. Yeah, queen c2 was much stronger. Of course it was much stronger. It's counterintuitive and not normal. But it is of course much stronger, yeah, because you need to develop the queen anyway to castle long. But the knight remains flexible. And also c5 is no longer so easy because you take, and if you take, I take. And then I take this bishop. Queen c2 is very strong, but you have to... Somebody has to say that first. It hasn't occurred to me at all. Let's briefly see other games, by the way. Just briefly. Fabiano Vashila Graf. d4 is not a good move, I think. You shouldn't... I don't think it's a good move. Take with the queen and allow knight c6. Not a bad move either. Oh, you can castle like this, yeah? Oh, that's very, very convenient. If the king was on e1, you wouldn't be able to cross the path of the queen. But actually, this is very convenient. Now it's very nice for white. Oh, black can also do that, of course. But white is... I don't know what is white. I think it's equal. Maybe black is slightly better. The computer says it's equal. Even white is slightly better. No, okay, it's around equal. What happened here? Wow. Yeah, knight f3 is how I would have played it. Knight c6. I would consider Rosolimo with bishop b5. Maybe then queen b6. d4, interesting. g6, playing the dragon. I don't know if I like the dragon. I wouldn't have played the dragon, definitely not. I would have considered developing the knight. Maybe then the queen or something. I don't know. Let's see what computer likes here in this open Sicilian. Oh, he says it's already good for he likes d5. Very cool move. Okay, but let's see how the boys played. The boys played g6, the dragon, bishop c3, very creative. Knight d2. Usually the knight develops here, but then this bishop would be awkward. And normally the bishop develops here. But now that the bishop is here, Hikaru went for another setup. Very logical. Logical. Wesley, this is some sort of Scandinavian. This is just Team Scandi here. This is just Team Scandi. Just hit the queen, bro. Why didn't you hit the queen? The Scandi is funny. He would have played the queen d6 and Scandi. It's very funny, guys. It's very funny. I find it funny. I don't know if you find it funny. I find it funny. How are you doing, chat? Nihal just won against Andrew Tang 16-8. Bravo. Well done. Oh, interesting. He's playing the... what's the name of this? Vienna game, I think? I think it's called the Vienna game. e4, knight c3, g3. And then d3, knight g2. Bishop out. Yeah, it's funny. Or maybe f4. Knight f3, bishop f2. But let's see our heroes. Carlsen against Kasparov. Yeah, thanks, Chirag. I know Tang lost to Nihal 16-8. Very nice. Nihal won. Very well done. Epic. Yeah, so as we've discussed this move queen c2, guys, it's such a beautiful move. If you tell Garry you had the move queen c2, he would immediately tell you, yeah, that was great. Yeah, I should have played it. He would immediately acknowledge it. But it's so hard to make it for us because we learn to first develop light pieces. Light pieces is knights and bishops. And only then castle usually, and then develop the queen. But in this particular instance, developing the queen is really very convenient because it allows you to castle and it keeps the flexibility of the knight, and also it puts the pressure on the c file on the file of the king. Why is Anish, Vishy, and Raj not playing here? Yeah, we could have been playing here, but yeah, they're tournaments have limited amounts of participants. That is why. c5. Yeah, this was the way. Yeah, c5. I made this move b5. That was quite dumb. It's very dumb. Normally you make this move when the bishop is on c8 and the king is on e8. This bishop, you see this bishop, and then the bishop comes to b7, to this diagonal. But here it makes no sense. b5 it's just weakening. Here in fact c5 is much better because now the bishop comes here to this diagonal via c6, or the bishop can come here to d7. But this move b5, it made no sense. And maybe that's what Garry was hoping, that b5 will come, but no, just c5. Now it's a big question, what do you play? Well, you see, Garry, he's it's not his style at all, but given that he's, I think he shouldn't do it, but he can try to simplify it, because you know he's playing Magnus Carlsen, maybe he doesn't want to take much risks. But if you play like this and bring the king here, yeah, I don't think white is I don't think white is worse. I don't think white is worse at all. No, white is not at all worse. But white is not better. Yeah, dc and just king to e2. Likely he will do this, and it will be a pretty dull game. That will disappoint. That will disappoint all my viewers of my beautiful channel. But let's see. It's not Garry's style. But at the same time, Garry, he can play solid if he wants to. Maybe he wants to. He won the first round. He plays Magnus Carlsen now. Why not to be solid? Just be solid. Takes. Especially because how else? Yeah, well, of course, bring the queen out here or here, and then castle long. That's of course okay. DC. Wow. This could be my shortest stream, but guys, if this will be over, it's gonna be my shortest stream. How long is it? 11 minutes. Yeah, but let's see. Maybe something exciting will happen. Don't think so though. Solid endgame. A very practical. Oh, bishop c5 first. Yeah, that makes sense. I like that. Yeah, I think we might still get a sharp game here, because see, if you take now, then black is very happy to take the king. The right of castling is not relevant because black wants to bring the king here, and white also wants to bring the king here, but he is one move away and black is closer. So the one who takes the queen this way or this way is giving a little move away, is making a small concession. Do the ritual, guys. Like the stream. Thanks, Vishal. Who are you rooting for in Carlsen versus Kasparov? I don't know, but I think I root for drama, guys. Drama, I think if Kasparov wins, it's going to be drama. Let me see here. Yeah, Kasparov, I see here, and he's in his t-shirt. Just in his t-shirt, casual. Yeah, he just takes and bishop d3. Okay, he can play long castle, yeah? Don't forget. He can play long castle if he wants. He could also here, look. He could play long castle. Look, like this, look. Long castle. Cool, eh? Look. No, wait, sorry. Look. Cool, no? Look. Yeah, that's long castle for you. He could do that, but he won bishop d3. Idea knight e4. Also getting out this b5 move. Okay, king e7. Yeah, that's always good. King is very well placed here. Black is very comfortable, isn't he? Black is very comfortable. Long castle. Yeah, finally long castle. As I promised. And what a show engine. What a show. It's equal. Even minus. b5. Yeah, no, this queen takes d8. As I told you, it was a concession. Ah, the computer likes to bring the king to g1. I like that. Bishop d2, king e7, and king to g1. Oh yeah, that makes for a very standard position. And then bring the rooks here. Very cool. Oh, my son is laughing very loud. I don't think it has anything to do with this game. This game is not very funny. On Castle Magic. Anish, Kasparov or Kramnik, who do you like? It reminds me of some kind of game I used to play as a kid. Like there were a bunch of kids in the kindergarten and they were like, who do you like more, this one or this one? And then you would have to say something like, I like all of you equally, but the most I like, and then you say someone, and then that someone has to run away or something. Anyway, Kramnik or Kasparov? Kasparov, and then Kramnik. You know chess rules well, you should try playing chess professionally, Anish Garry. Yeah, thanks, Divansh. This joke has many more funny versions than this particular version, but Ignat says, please don't be a draw, please don't be a draw. Well, if anything, computer says black is much better. I don't understand. Wait, let's think. Why is black much better? I play knight e4. And what? Takes. Okay, takes. Bishop c6. Okay, I take. Knight c6. Why is black so much better? It doesn't make much sense to me, to be honest. Okay, I can sort of understand. This bishop is passive. But okay, what's the big deal? Rook hc. Yeah, it's not so much. I don't know, computer is saying something, but it's not so much. It's dropping a little bit. See, the eval is dropping. Yeah, he's saying nonsense. It's very equalish, guys. I think, actually, bishop c6. Yeah, bishop c6 then knight e5. This is not hanging because of rook g1. And b5. Just takes and get the bishop pair. Yeah, that's also not worse. I don't think white is really worse. I think the computer is slightly exaggerating. I don't think the players think that one of them is really worse. Let's see other games. What happened here? Yeah, this was the epic game, guys. Remember with that long castle that we were pretty shocked. Yeah, this is so beautiful. When you can castle long like this, just a rook just jumps over. It's just so beautiful. F4. Okay, knight b4. Black won a pair of bishops. So players think that black is slightly better, I think. Or at the same time, white's very comfortable. Develop the knight, bring the rook in, play c3. Easy. Easy. Wow, what's that? Yeah, this was this creative genius, yeah, of Hikaru. g3, wow. Well, I think he missed this move d5. Yeah, this, you see, this bishop c3, knight d2, I explained to you that normally it's knight c3 and then bishop to e3 from c1. So that's why he couldn't do it. So he thought, okay, let's be creative and play bishop c3, knight d2. But that's not how the pieces are usually placed, and that's because, yeah, you don't control the square from here. From here you do. So now d5 is strong, this knight controls the square. After ed knight d5. This bishop is hit, usually there is a knight here. So this is just not ideal. And he lost a pawn, he's trying... Oh, he gave a bishop to regain it. Now black has bishop pair. Big fencers, thanks Prem. And again this long castle. Again this long castle, guy. Again and again and again. There's... In here too you can play long castle. I think he... Oh, he didn't realize that he could. No, he did. He just was worried about the move f5. f5 he was worried. No. f5, I have rook takes d8 here. If knight takes d8, I have check. So the hope of winning the piece on the pin is not working out. And if rook takes d1, now I take with the queen. And now f5 is no longer there because the queen is gone and there's no more pin. He just could have castled long. This is a mistake. Yeah, okay, now he will castle long next. Today the engine is slightly excited. Minus 0.6 is a bit much for this. Not a big deal. I'll castle long. It's not a big deal. h4, okay, it's very nice for black. He has got these dark squares, but it's not a big deal, I think. It's defensible. Okay, what's that? There's lots of stuff. It's Scandinavian. That's a Scandinavian. What would happen if I start with knight c3 the normal way? Now queen d6 and d4. Knight f6. Okay, it's a very good Scandinavian. Knight c6 and long castle. See, the thing is, why this is a good Scandinavian, black can castle long without having to develop his bishop, and that's in general a theme in this particular setup from the starting position. What makes this different from normal chess? This king and this bishop, my son is extremely excited, not about this position, but he's very excited. So the idea is that compared to the regular position, okay, this all e4, knight f3, bishop c4, bishop b5 business is as usual, but black can and black can castle long after developing the knight and the queen without developing this bishop. So long castle comes very fast, and that is very relevant in the Scandinavian. I think Lanier was probably prepared, or he was preparing. Players have some time in between the games, as we noticed. Yeah, and here you can castle long in one go. Usually you need to develop the bishop here and then castle. And now you can castle immediately, and black is already better here. That's why Scandinavian is super strong in this particular opening. Wow. In this particular position, in fact. Yeah, e5 was not needed, so you could just play knight f6. d4, just e6, c4 though. Yeah, hard to say. Queen h5, maybe c5. Hard to say. Very unclear position. But he went for this e5 move. Not needed. Yeah, queen d4 a little timid. He was saying queen e2, knight c6, and now d4. Look at this amazing pin. What a resource. Takes, takes, takes. And now again this epic long castle. Look, epic long castle. And wow, so much initiative. These guys are all still yeah, wow, beautiful stuff, guys. Guys, can you hear my son or not? Tell me. Do you hear my son? If you do hear my son, do you want to continue hearing him, or is it bothering you? Tell me. I can maybe close the door. I mean one more door, but maybe it's not necessary. Maybe it's cool. I like to hear my son personally. I find it very joyous. Okay, this Alreza's Fiddler game is super creative. The guy went bishop f2, bishop e3. Super creative. Let's see if any action on Carlsen. Super solid. Super solid. Knight c6. Now Garry went knight g5. Doesn't really matter. He wants to trade knight on e4. One way or the other. Yeah, guys, the Clash of the Titans. Yes, no, yes, yes, it's fine. Yes, yes. Currently we don't hear him. It's cute. Bring him on, it's fine. Bring him, it's okay. Continue. Yes, no, it's fine. Okay, lol. Bring Danny to stream. Perfect. It's not necessary. Not bothering. Not much sound. Let him play. Yeah, bring him. Bring him. No, we want your son. It's okay. It's cool. It's cool. Not bothering. Continue, broski. Continue hearing Danny OP. Not bothering. Danny OP. It's fine. We love Danny laughing. We love Danny, bro. Mic volume lower. Danny OP. Want to hear. Bring Danny AG. Yes, we want to hear him. Get him on mic also. Love his son. Bring Danny to stream. No problem. Continue. No, it's chill. Not bothering. Can hear. Why is chat stuck? Bring Danny. It's cool. Bring Danny too. Yes. Put your son volume up, please. I don't hear, but I'd like to. Where I can watch this match and you're switching between matches. I'm here to watch only Kasparov's game. Let's watch only Kasparov's game. Okay. Okay. Guys, only Kasparov's game is... We love Danny more than you, AG, says Vishal. I also love Danny more than you, Vishal. It's mutual. And Captain Squad says, speak in Hindi once more. Brother, I don't speak Hindi. I can try. But you write so many emojis. It's quite epic. Look, the bishop is coming out here. Black is just very fine. You know, the thing is, this type of positions, Magnus is more at home here. Captain, dear Captain speaking. Okay, I'll time him out a little bit. Starts to be a little annoying. Yeah, get Magnus, Eminem OP. Eminem has left the chat. AG raps so well. I was just reading. I was not even rapping. You can try to rap something. Do ASMR if you're going to be that close to the mic. Rap God OP and buy OP. I don't hear Magnus. Anish, thank you for streaming. Your streams are so informative and calming. Bishop a5, the first line, a very strong move. Exchanging this active bishop. Wait, sorry, what did he play? Yeah, exchanging this active bishop. And now, this g5 loses its punch. Knight e5 is always there, forcing the bishop back, opening file for trades. White is just slightly uncomfortable. I feel it. Let me think how to explain why that is. To begin with, Black's king is a little bit more centralized than White. But if White's king was here, it would still not be enough for equality, because this knight would hit the bishop. And if the bishop would go, this bishop would come and hit the king. So somehow, Black is just better here. Let me think why that is again. It's so hard to explain. Yeah, the difference, in fact, the difference in these bishops, there's a difference there. This bishop is going to kick that knight, while this bishop is hitting nothing. That's what it is. See, that's what it is. It's actually the differences in bishops determines the differences in this knight. So let me bring an example. So let's say here. So here Black is better because look, Black will place his knight here. White will have his knight here. There is almost symmetry, but this bishop will be able to hit this knight, whereas this bishop cannot hit that knight. You understand? So because of the difference in bishops, there comes a difference in knights, and that gives Black a small advantage. At the same time, there is difference in kings because of the difference in bishops. The king cannot be placed on e2 because of the check on b5, whereas this king is super safe. So because of the fact, look, that's the thing. Black has ideal square for the knight on e5 and ideal square for the king on e7. White square on e4 and square on e2 are less good because they can be hit by the bishop. So the fact that the asymmetry is in bishops makes for this position to be slightly better for black because of a better knight and a better king. Very interesting, guys. Very nuanced. Always nice to try and dissect why a certain position is better for one side. Even if slightly. Even if slightly. Very, very instructive. Very instructive. Nice explanation? Yeah, for sure. I think it's a nice explanation. Don't you think? I think it's a nice explanation. Who else will explain you like this, guys? Your chess streams are like meditation, calm and soothing. Are you here to promote an app? Black's one rook seems out of the game. Not relevant. Once this bishop will go, this rook will get connected. Rooks will get connected. It's irrelevant. Somebody super chatted. Okay. Himanshu's asking Manish, do you really want? Do you really wanna okay, do you really wanna wait, tell me what you want, what you really okay, Manish G, do you really want to play with Malika Sherawat? Anyway, I don't know. I personally don't care, but I know someone who cares, and that makes me want to play him as well. Yeah, Garry is going to get. I feel Garry is going to get suffering here. He's going to get some suffering here. He's going to get some slow, nasty pressure. Very unpleasant. Poor Garry. But again, few mistakes he made. This Queen c2 was super strong, super impressive move. I really like this move. After c5, black has equalized. Here he could have tried taking some risks. And here he should have come up with this bishop d2 short castle. That would have equalized even more clean. He went for long castle, and now, yeah, g4, I think g4 is also uncalled for. Yeah, g4 is very uncalled for. Very, very uncalled for, actually. Yeah, g4, actually, he was equal here, look, bishop c2. The g4 is very uncalled for, just weakening. It has the punch here, but after bishop a5 it loses the punch. It goes nowhere. Even after gf, rook g1, then I go bishop g6, it just stops. So it's only weakening. It weakens this pawn, it weakens the square a bit. The king is too far. If the king was like here, let's say at least, somewhere on g3, it would be different. But the king is here, very far from this pawn. It's just weakness. Now g4 is... he had to play very modestly here. Bishop c2, just bishop c2. Just trade the rooks. I would have played bishop c2 very modestly. But g4, yeah. The thing, guys, when you're trying to play very solid, you have to stick to the plan. Just play solid and play solid all the way. No need for, like I think he was torn. He wanted to play solid, but then again he wanted to put pressure. Garry, he was always putting pressure with white in the opening, always, and I feel he cannot play otherwise. He needs to put pressure. He cannot just play modest like this, move bishops like this disgusting move. Like if you tell him bishop c2, he would say like, yeah, but what? He would make this face like he was like, yeah, but what is this move, bishop c2? What's this bishop c2? What do you think I am? Do you think I'm Peter Lico or something, or what? So yeah, he would never make a move like that. Peter Lico, a lot more calm player, a lot more positional and reserved, a lot more solid. So Peter Lico would play bishop c2. Vladimir Kramnik would play bishop c2. I'll play bishop c2 probably. Wesley will play bishop c2. Magnus Carlsen will probably play bishop c2. But Garry Kasparov went for g4, and here it was not ideal. But let's see if he gets to equalize. Morris is completely roasting Garry for this game. Yeah, I can imagine. Somebody's asking how can a person of Indian origin could not speak Hindi? It's a very strange question. There are even people in India who don't speak Hindi. There are many of them. Strange. Very strange question. Okay. Do you watch football? No. Your explanation is exceptional. I am 450 but still got it. Bro, Anshul, wonderful. I think after my explanation, your rating went from 450 to 550. Would love the Wolfpack to do commentary on this event. Half of the Wolfpack is asleep, I think. CNN is my mod. No, nobody knows who she is. I also don't know. Can someone provide link to the live games? Mods, please do that. Yeah, Garry. I was sort of critical of his play, but very modestly, of course. I know that you have to be very modest when you criticize somebody's play. I'm usually on the receiving end, so I know that. But I was surprised to hear that Maurice was also quite rough. But okay, you know, this job of commentator, you have to explain what's going on. Here, this diagonal is wide open. Why is the pawn on b6? What kind of move is b6? It's crazy. Oh god. Dear oh dear. Dear oh dear. What kind of move is b6? That is sick. Wow. There was nothing going on. You can play king b8. You can, okay, bishop c6 is kind of hard because queen a7, I guess you have to make some f5 move. Okay, there's the spin, but okay, let's say it's pretty hard because you don't want to lose the pawn. But even if you don't see it, king b8 is much better, no? Okay, then he was afraid of knight c5. Okay, I understand b6. If the king would be somewhere here and the pawn would be here, it would be fine. But the king is on c8. This file is cutting it off, so it has to be here. And then this diagonal is now wide open, and there is knight d4, protecting from bishop c6. Whew. He was probably hoping to get bishop c6 in, and then bishop here, and then secure his king. But knight d4, and now this bishop cannot get here. And this diagonal is just wide open. This king is super weak because eventually the queen will come to e4 and then checkmate on the long diagonal. Wow, what a disaster. What a disaster. Okay, but it's not so bad. Look here, guy with queen e4, now he goes f5. There's nothing on a8. There's nothing, just one check, which is probably something he underestimated. There's only just one check. So now he has to drop back. And then okay, it's fine, yeah? Maybe bishop c8 or something, I don't know. Maybe it's fine. Anyway, let's not be judging. Okay, this is pretty comfortable for black, this position of Linear Dominguez. This is quite funny. The pawn is still here, but the bishop, you see, this position in classical chess, guys, this position would never happen because in order to trade the c1 bishop, you need to open this pawn or this pawn. But here, the bishop was on e1, it developed this way, and now this position looks so unnatural because, like, it never happens. Like, it's, my eyes are bleeding, you understand? My eyes are bleeding. Yeah. Will you make tutorials of chess in the future? No, I don't do tutorials, but I did do a French opening course for Chessable. And it's a, to be honest, it's a reasonably advanced course. But I think it can still apply to most viewers. Oof. King is here, rook cuts off the file, and action is here, knight is coming here. These pawns are a bit weak. This king, yeah, you remember, guys, I already explained to you, yeah? This king is fantastic because this bishop is of a different color. This bishop is hitting nothing. Who's your favorite Dutch footballer right now? Okay, I mean, I can pull out some names, but really, I mean, I know like some names because I'm following the news, whatever else, some De Jong or whatever. But basically, I don't follow football at all, unless there is this big international championships like the European, the World Cup. I don't follow anything else. Even the Champions League, I don't really follow. I read about it in the news, but I don't follow. I like the international. Sorry, I mean, I would say national. I mean international championships because the because sorry, Shitich is back in the house. Shitich is addicted to me mispronouncing Hindi words. Not every day, guys. Come on, not every day. I have Jan's course says Bojaxi See Adam. Yeah, Jan's course is great, but it's much bigger. My course is a lot more compact and easier to understand. So, choice is yours. Okay, G6. I like that. I like that G6 because he wants to push E5. Knight is a monster. Yeah, Garry getting outplayed. No, it's kind of unfortunate. He had to stay. It's hard to say. I mean, he had to stay either true to himself and not go DC, but yeah, there was nothing in the position. There was nothing in the position because Knight C3 was inaccurate. But after takes, he had to play it very modestly. Like, he played pretty modestly until this move G4. Yeah, this was just, now it was, now of course he starts getting outplayed as predicted. Magnus plays very well. Okay, bishop f3, computer likes even more. Not allowing any knight e2, cutting out this knight on c3. Bishop f3 looks nasty. Then knight e5, not allowing f4 either. Yeah, this move bishop f3 is very nasty. Followed by knight e5. This pawn is weak. If h4, it's also weak. Maybe even some king marching coming. Horrible stuff. He allowed f4. At least the pawns are connected. And they are technically of the good color, but it doesn't matter. They are sort of weak. Okay, e4, interesting. That's Garry likes that. Some sort of he likes that because it's some concrete something. Of course, in the unpleasant position, you want some concrete things. But there is a very strong move, knight e1. I don't know if Magnus sees it. He'll probably find it. Knight d3 incoming. Super strong. Garry, of course, missed it. It's very hard to see from White's perspective. But Magnus will see this knight e1 move. Gonna be trouble, guys. It's gonna be trouble. Yeah, a very nice game for Magnus. Okay, Garry took with the knight because he noticed this knight e1 thing. He noticed it, but it's a bit late. Now knight d4 is there, attacking the bishop. And yeah, again, this rook cuts the board in two parts, and the action will eventually happen on the king side. The action will happen somewhere here, but the king will be here, and the rook cuts it. It's like, I like to say, there is a river, and you're on the wrong side of the river, bro. You are on the wrong side of the river, bro. Anish Giri, have you ever played against Kasparov, friendly or competitive? That's a very good question, Shubham. In fact, this is a remarkable little fact, a fun fact. I personally have never played a single game with Garry Kasparov, and that is very remarkable because almost everyone by now has played with Garry Kasparov. He's played so many exhibition matches already, so many exhibition events. I haven't played him once, and that's very remarkable. It's a very strange coincidence. Very strange coincidence. I am probably one of the few players who has simply never played him. I find it very disappointing. Very disappointing. All of them played him. All of them played him. All this. Fabiano played him 200 times. Hikaru played him 200 times. Levon played him a bunch. MVL played him a bunch. Magnus played him a bunch. Not a bunch. Magnus played him not a bunch. Magnus played him, I think, only here. I think Magnus never played him before, apart from this famous game when Magnus was small. When Magnus was a small kid. He was like 16 or something. In around 2004 or 5, I don't know. Just before, maybe 4. Wait, in 2004 Magnus was 14. Where have they played? Wait, let me see. Kasparov, Carlsen. Let me see. When and where have they played? 2004, right? Yeah, no, Magnus was... Yeah. Carlsen isn't even in GM yet. Yeah, 2004. Okay, Garry quit in 2005, I believe. Linares 2005, his last tournament. And 2004 they played some rapid event, and then they played now, basically, a bunch of years later. And me, I've never played them. It's very strange. Not even in Ultimate Moves. Okay, Ultimate Moves, yeah, but it doesn't. Ultimate Moves is not at all. It's not even an exhibition. It's an epic event. Ultimate Moves. It's a comedy show. It's a stand-up comedy show, pretty much. I loved it. It's epic. Oh, he's getting so. Yeah, he's getting outplayed here. Very unfortunate. Very unfortunate. Very unfortunate. After rook e2, rook e4. The thing is, this bishop cuts off this knight. So rook e4, rook e5, king d6, and this pawn will fall. Rook drops and rook g4 and just picks up this pawn. And you know, one thing you can count on when Magnus at his prime now plays Garry Kasparov, old Garry Kasparov, he will convert it. I mean, defending horrible endgames never been a favorite job of Garry Kasparov, and I don't see any chances. What I was saying though, Ultimate Moves, yeah, it's a nice event, but you make turns, you play team against team, you play like 5 moves, then someone else comes in. Of course, I played probably at some point against Garry's team in this event, but it's really not serious at all. I might have sat across him there. I think I think I sat across him once. He was in a dead loss position, so I made some joke that it's all good. But yeah, Ultimate Moves is a stand-up comedy show. I've never played. Raja beat Kasparov at the age of 16 and you have beaten him, so technically you win. No, I have never beaten Raja. Do you know that? In a classical game, I have never beaten Raja. Fun fact. He hasn't beaten me much, but he has beaten me once, and we made lots of draws with Raja, but he's beaten me once. I don't think I've ever beaten him. Maybe I've lost to Raja more than once, by the way, I don't know. I think I recall only one game. But yeah, I've never played Garry. That is really remarkable. I hope to play him one day. I hope he continues with these exhibitions. I hope he will play well this time. But now, yeah, let's see the game. Let's see. Let's refresh it. Oh, bishop b5 just takes. Yeah. Very bad game, guys. One last time. I sum it up for you boys. Here, remarkable moment. Queen c2 computers are just a very inventive move. Preparing, developing the knight, and then castling long. Again, because the bishop is not on e1, on c1, but on e1, you can castle long faster without developing it. And here you need to choose develop knight first or the queen, and computer very flexibly develops queen flexibly develops queen to c2, and then after takes. You cannot play c5. That's also very important because now you take. Okay, you can, but you cannot take on c5 because the bishop e6, and that's the point of queen c2 again. Now hitting this bishop, and so also queen comes to this thing. To this file. Very important queen c2 move, a beautiful move, a very strong move. White would have a very serious advantage. He played normal, knight c3. It's also what I expected. And then I considered this dumb move b5, which would be completely dumb because it would not help develop the bishop, which usually would be developing here. That's why chess 960 is so different, because this pattern, like my pattern recognition tells me to play b5, but this pattern recognition is completely dumb because normally bishop is here, and here it's a different pattern. You just go c5. You develop the bishop here. You don't need to weaken yourself with b5. It will only weaken your king. So c5 is what Garry had underestimated. And now he was thinking maybe about queen c2. Notice a move like queen c7, or also the move b5 here. It would already be quite different, but better is to play actually queen c7. And then this would be an interesting position, but very fine for black. He will develop this bishop, develop this knight, maybe castle long as well. But Garry decided to play it safe, but he played it quite safe, except here he did get ambitious after all. He went g4, and that was uncalled for because after bishop b5, this g4 was a waste of time because g5 doesn't anymore attack this pawn here. With bishop gone, this is losing its point, and so after this it turned out that this pawn is weak. There is a very nice speech, somebody timestamp it, on why I explained this position to be better for black. I try to understand. The main point is that these bishops are of the light on the light squares, and this knight on e5 and king on e7 will never be touched by the bishop, whereas the knight on e4 and the king, if it ever gets to e2, which is ideal square, otherwise it would get hit by the bishop. And so that determines black's advantage here because of these bishops. And that's what happens. The knight is heading towards e5. The king is nicely placed here. This king is on this side, the action is on this side, this file is cut off, and so slowly but surely Magnus enters the house here, and before allowing some also rook h8 h6 is there, and b5 and e4 and all this taking space, Garry is trying to escape, and he missed it after f4. I think he planned bishop e4, but after takes he missed this move 91, very sneaky, pretending a what is the word? Threatening? Why did I say pretending? I had some other word in mind. Not threatening, but intending. Intending knight d3. And now knight d3 is a super fork. It will fork the king, a rook, and the pawn. So even if you go like this or something, you will still lose a pawn. And so he cannot take with the bishop, and he took with the knight. And now after knight d4, he is losing because this pawn is a bit soft. Again, king is too far from these weak pawns. King has to be somewhere like here, somewhere, but it's not here. So and now this bishop is dominating this knight, and this pawn is very weak. King is again too far from these pawns, and so now Magnus can just take here, and just take on f4 with the rook or with the pawn. The computer prefers the pawn. Both look winning. Very good. Very, very good. I'm playing this at. Am I playing this at 2x speed? You can try to play it at 2x speed. I'm curious how that will sound. Ooh, what happened there? Yeah, you see, the bishop pair, guys. Not always, not always. Easy play here for white. Fabiankin, Karawankin traded. Traded bishops. Missed before. MV Elkin missed the move before, very strong move before making the bishop to decide where to go. It cannot leave this diagonal because it allows rook e7, sorry. And if it leaves, so it cannot leave this diagonal because it covers this square. And if it, well, it has no squares. If it goes to f8, it's just the end. So he has to just give a piece. Very unfortunate, very, very unfortunate. If he just played rook d8, before is not anymore possible because the queen protects the square indirectly, and this position is just very comfortable for black. After, for example, a5, now you can take queen g2, and now after b4, there is a move bishop d4, and the point is that if there is queen f1 check, I think, and also if knight d4, there is now queen g1 check, and this rook is helping to, sorry, my arrow drawing skills are much worse than my drawing skills. Okay, attacking the d4 knight, and this would be just very good for black. Instead, he missed this move before. Yeah, very nice, Fabi, very nice, very well done. Let's see this. Let's see if Kasparov. Wait, Magnus blundered. What is this rook f7 move? He just blundered this or what? But this, oh my god, he blundered this. Of course he blundered this. He would of course much rather just take and play rook f4 than this. Oh wow, what a blunder. What a weird blunder. He just forgot about rook e3. He thought white will make some move, and then he will take, and then he will take, and then he got this extra finesse. The rook is already on f7, you know, already guarding the pawn just in case there is no rook h3. Now he can play just king f5. Just a very, very subtle little nuance. But okay, just missed rook e3. Uncool, boys, uncool. Uncool. Still much better. What was the defense here? Rook e3, the computer says. Okay, still much better for black because these pawns, again, these pawns are weak. The king is far. The king has to be here somewhere. You know, fun fact, in Lee chess, you cannot draw an illegal arrow. Like, you cannot draw, like, you can only draw an arrow as a knight, as a bishop, but you cannot draw like an arrow from d2 to, let's say, e5. That's funny. You can, for example, say, okay, your king has to come like here, but you cannot draw one straight arrow to g4. That's funny. Anyway, Garry just lost this pawn. Well, he thought he's losing the pawn anyway, but actually that was not the case. He could play rook e3, rook f2, and rook e2. You could also play, for example, king c3 computer, but look, this looks quite bad. No, but even here, okay, let's say you hit these two pawns. This move king e3 is actually quite horrible, right? Wait, was he hoping for rook f2 though? He was hoping for rook f2, rook g5, rook f7, right? Then rook h5 takes and rook h2. Black has 2 pawns and one more, 3 pawns, and white has 2 pawns. Anish Giri, what if you weren't a chess player? What would you be? I don't know, man. I don't know. There's a funny video where that interview I had with Vedika. We reacted to it yesterday or something, and there she asked me something like this, and I give such a weird answer that I sort of understand, but I don't know why I gave it. It was a very smart answer, but yeah, it was too smart. Hikaru's position is more or less equal. He's a pawn up, but endgame because of the opposite color bishops is going to be draw. Yeah, this is also a pretty equal position. Yeah, this is a remarkable position, guys. This is that remarkable position. He still hasn't played the move with the d pawn, and then you wonder where did the bishop on c1 develop. That's a 960 game, epic. Let's look at this rook endgame. What happened? So he did go for the for this thing where after rook h5, rook b7, rook h2. He cannot win the a6 pawn because I will win b2 pawn, so I will have 2 pawns against 1 as black. So black keeps a huge winning chances. Let's refresh the game. Huge winning chances for Magnus Carlsen. Rook b5. Okay, I understand. I would have probably also played rook b5, but I understand. He wants to have see, he wants to have 2 against 1 and 1 against 1 over 2 against 0 and 2 against 1, because this gives white more counterplay. See, white would have a passed pawn, black would have 2, whereas in what he did, white would have no passed pawns, but black would have 2 against 1. So it's a little bit more depressing for white, this one. And maybe Magnus played it subconsciously against the opponent, because he knows that Garry loves counterplay. He's an aggressive player. He wants to have a pawn that he's pushing, but here he doesn't have one. Yeah, and h4 is a blunder. Do. Final part of my super chat. Oh yeah, Shitich, thank you. Caught you live. Still waiting for instant reply, by the way. Thanks, Shitich. I'll check my Insta later. Thanks for reminding. Yeah, Shitich is the guy who challenged me to say his name, to pronounce his name without making a mistake. I always make mistakes while pronouncing people's names, but that time there was some cash on the line, so I focused myself and pronounced. Now, what I wanted to say though, so no, this is none. Although, what I wanted to say is, it's not what I want to say. I want to say, let's say if you play a waiting move, and let's say I get this position. Sometimes, let me think. Sometimes 2 extra pawns are not enough to win. Yeah. That's actually one such example. Not particularly this position, but let's say if your rook was on a4 and my king was somewhere here. Yeah, I think this position, isn't this a draw? This is some kind of theoretical draw, I think, no? Yeah, there is something called the Vancouver defense. Well, usually it's with the h-pawn, but I don't know if it's also here. I wonder now. Very interesting. Very interesting. Suddenly confused. Yeah, guys, I have to study my rook endgames again. It's usually with the h-pawn, I think, but if the g-pawn, I don't know. Anyway, this is not so relevant. Magnus is going to win this. Oh, no. What happened? King f7. Oh, blunder. Oh, this like this famous, you know, this is like this famous Fischer-Botvinnik thing. Yes, Fischer-Botvinnik. Okay, it's like a famous Fischer-Botvinnik thing. h5. It was actually, let me look that up. It was a famous story, you know. Fischer played Botvinnik, and he had the rook endgame, something very similar to this one. Like, he had the pawn down, like 3 against 2, kind of hopeless. Position was something like this. And then Botvinnik came. Sena says, I can't believe Magnus will snatch a draw in this game. Yeah, he will snatch it. Botvinnik came. It was adjournment, you know, adjournment. And Botvinnik knew that there was a trap. And always Botvinnik, I read the story, always would come with this, you know, with this thermos, this jug of hot water, you know. He would always come to the game with it, if the game was supposed to last long. But for that particular game, he came on purpose. It's a draw. He came on purpose without that jug, so that Fischer thinks, that Botvinnik thinks he's dead lost, and so that Fischer falls into his trap. And Fischer fell for a trap very similar to this one. He allows something like this, and suddenly it's a draw. If you take here, I have rook h7. Magnus probably thought he can play b6. And what did he think? But he was wrong. Yeah, he was wrong. Rook b5 is a draw. Remarkably, by the way. This is, by the way, an insane draw. Wow. This is insane. Wait a second. King d4, king f5, king d5. This is sick, by the way. King d4. Wow, never. Okay, I must have seen this because it's obvious, but I've never seen this. I don't recall this. This is a remarkable draw, by the way, this one. Remarkable draw. You have a protected passed pawn, but still it's a draw. Wow. But Garry chose a more elegant way. Rook e5 first. Now if you take, I go here. This pawn endgame is a draw. Oh, Garry will be so happy. Oh, sorry, king d3, very important. After b5, king c2, and king b3, king b4. One pawn against the king is a draw, as you know, because of the opposition. If not takes, then king f6, what happened? And now rook e4. And pawn endgame is a draw, as we know. And rook endgame, if you protect this pawn, 1 against 2 is also a draw. Very sloppy. Very sloppy. And the mistake was here. The engine says king d7. The king protecting this pawn. So for example, now if h5 takes, it's not the same because you can just take. And there is no rook h7 or rook b5 because the king will protect. The king is too close, you see. And here the king will protect this pawn. But actually after this, rook g6, you can just take simply on h4. So there was no need to protect this pawn. It was much more important to protect this pawn in the future than protect this pawn. That's what Magnus missed. Lovely game. I'm still in awe of this draw, says Siona. Barat says, now it's your time to tweet Magnus, my boy, snatching a draw from Joseph victory. Yeah, seriously, the amount of times people make draws in winning positions, it happens every day, 5 times a day. Why would someone tweet about it? Unless he had a hidden agenda of trying to ruin somebody else's reputation. Which is not what I have. At this point in time. But maybe later. I heard Maurice screaming from where I am. Yeah, Maurice just goes, wow! This was just over. This was just done. But Garry was just like, wow! So, yeah. Opinion on Anand and any remarkable game you played with him. I played so many remarkable games with Anand. So many games. I mean, I haven't played a game with Kasparov, but I've played tons of games with Vishay Anand. Tons of games. Is it also an invitation tournament? Yeah, it is. It is. Okay. Enjoying your commentary, good impression, lol. See Emil tweet. He said what you said. Oh, my phone died. Anyway, did you remember this Fischer thing? Kasparov versus Carlsen. Garry tries to hold an endgame. It's almost identical to the one held by Botvinnik versus Fischer. What a story. I will retweet that. Say that on my stream, and I'll link that stream. I'll say that on my stream, haha, great minds. Intending to say great minds think alike, if you know what I mean. I'll put some kind of modest emoji. Flushed face. It's called flushed face. I would call it blushed face. I thought you flush a toilet, but okay. Okay, tweeted that. Guys, what more do we want? What more do we want? We saw a beautiful game. We tweeted a beautiful tweet. I told you the Botvinnik Fischer story. Do you do impressions of Magnus and Garry as well? You missed the Garry impression here. Rest in peace, phone. That's true. You missed the Garry impression earlier in the stream. Magnus. Nah. I don't do his impression. Nah. And please wear a green jacket someday and you'll look like, I don't know what that is. How much is your IQ? 139. 139. I am 1 IQ point away from being a genius, but this 1 IQ point is very important. Is he reading this chat? Yeah, probably. Like the tweet, like the tweet, definitely. Like everything, guys. Like the stream, like the tweet. Subscribe to the stream, subscribe to the tweet. Everything. Leave a comment, as long as it's a friendly comment, and everything. Did we finish all the games, by the way? Yeah, this one finish, this one finish, this one finish, and this one finish. No, this one also finish, yes. Draw. Okay, Fabio won. Yeah, early to count the standings, but Garry thrilled to have escaped. Very lucky escape. Very lucky escape there. But we're happy for Garry Kasparov. We are big fans of Garry Kasparov. We are all very happy. But Magnus Carlsen is not happy with this game, where the rest of us is happy. Magnus' impression reminded me of his bad stomach in Data Steel. Yeah. 139, what is 139? Yeah, my phone's dead. Zed's dead, baby. Zed's dead. Here to subscribe to the tweet. Yeah, okay guys, my tweet, let me send you my tweet. Let me spam you my tweet. So you subscribe to my tweet as well. But yeah, I think now we are done for real. Now we're done for real. I already made one turnaround. I already did the stream earlier today. I said it was the end. Then I came back because I heard that Garry Kasparov was playing Magnus Carlsen, so I couldn't resist. I wanted to watch this game, and I thought if I'm gonna watch it, you know, I might as well stream it. That's why I'm here. But now it's gone. It's done. Big fan Anish love from India. Thanks, Abhishek. Man, you're still not sleeping. Wow. Welcome. Do you play against subs? Maybe one day. So keep subscribing. Maybe you get a shot. Anish, I'm from Morocco, North Africa. I like your stream. Thanks, man. Somebody from Morocco keeps trying to call me. Maybe it's you. Why is Magnus only following you on Instagram among chess players? Probably because his manager wants to learn from me on how to handle Instagram page. How's your preparation for the candidates? Excellent. Do you read Indian news affairs? I don't read. I read international news. So if something comes in there, I see that. I don't necessarily read news of countries separately. Did you like neuroscience of chess? Absolutely. I would have loved to join the stream, but I was sort of babysitting my son on the side, and it was kind of hard to join the stream. Like, it was possible to follow the stream because we were like chilling with my son and watching a bit, but it was hard to join the stream, so I didn't. But it was an epic stream of Vidit. Shivam, he will do an epic stream. What was the question of Shivam? What will you do after you beat Magnus after the candidates? True. I'll do an epic stream. Do you also know Mikhail Tal's smile story against Fischer, of course, with C65? I know all of them stories, guys. I've read all of them books. I know all of them Flag Life stories of the past. You might as well watch it with 2,000 people. Bless us with a song as you leave. Good night. Ninat, you want a song? Okay, Ninat. For Ninat. Ninat is a good mod. He's from India. He will appreciate the good old Sargam song. Those of you who don't like the song, I'm very sorry. You can leave right now. You can leave right now. But those who like the song, you're welcome. Thank you all for watching, and bye bye. Bye bye. Bye bye.